Okay, welcome back. Last time we made our way through more of Realgum Tower, and today we are entering the Colosseum for the final battles in the game. Well, in the main story, anyway. So, in between episodes, I put Espeon back to the front of the party, put the black glasses on Umbreon, and the Quick Claw back onto Ampharos. So that's just a quick little change, but I just want to mention that before I get into these battles. So, off we go with some more story real quick. What kept you, Wes? I worried that perhaps Gonzap had defeated you. The time has come for you to pay off some debts. We'll have you battle as payment towards the huge losses you inflicted on us. I expect to see spectacular battling out of you. After all, you're here to entertain. So basically, we have, in terms of practicality, an Elite Four here. And all of these trainers will have a Shadow Pokemon as well. A big crowd like this, it is a little intimidating. I don't want to be embarrassed here, so I'll battle to win. I mean, realistically, why would you be entering a Colosseum to not win? Like, I feel like you're kind of meant to always fight to win in a Colosseum. That's kind of the entire point, is it not? Okay, so this first trainer has normal types. She leads with Bodybuilder Jomus, our first opponent here, has Porygon 2 and a Zangoose, and then their third Pokemon will be a Shadow Pokemon. So I am going to Psychic into the Zangoose. That'll probably just one-shot it, because honestly, Zangoose is not the most powerful Pokemon in the world. Espeon is very strong, and that animation for Zangoose getting knocked out is kind of strange, but also kind of cool. And in comes Miltank. The Miltank is level 48 and is a Shadow Pokemon. All four trainers that I'm about to fight will have a level 48 Shadow Pokemon. Actually, that might not be correct. I think the last one might be level 49. I might be wrong on that though, but we'll be seeing that in hopefully not too long. Tri-Attack does quite a bit of damage, so I'm going to switch out. I'll just Psybeam the Porygon 2, and then I'll switch out to Ampharos. I'm going to switch out to Ampharos to kind of fund it, basically just fund our way for this. And hopefully I can get through this without too much hassle. Because I do need to be a bit aware. This is honestly the main reason I bought all those healing items, just on the off chance that I need them. So now Porygon 2 is dealt with, that's off the board, it's 2v1, and all I need to do is catch a Miltank, which obviously is going to be a lot harder than it realistically should be, but hey, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to set up Reflect as a defensive line and then Thunder Wave it. Okay, Quick Claw comes in handy immediately. So, basically the Miltank is now paralyzed, so it's going to be a little bit easier to catch. Reflect is set up so I'll take a bit less damage, because realistically Miltank does hit pretty hard. However, it seems relatively content to just set up defense curls. So I'm going to go for Psybeam to whittle it down a little bit, and then I'm just going to start throwing Pokeballs at it. I do not want to throw a Timer Ball at it, because it's been on the field for all of maybe 3 turns. So, let's just go for an Ultra Ball and see how this first one goes. If this stays in straight away, that would be fantastic for me. Okay, in it goes. 1, 2, 3. Man, we nearly had it first try. If we'd caught that on the first ball, that would have been fantastic. Okay, Psybeam definitely would knock it out. Okay, you know what? I was gonna say it wouldn't have. I was gonna say it wouldn't have done that even if it had critted, but you know what? I'm very glad it didn't crit, because now I'm after seeing that damage, I'm a bit more concerned about how powerful Espeon might actually be. Okay, I'm gonna go for Thunder Shock to whittle it down just a little bit more, just in case it breaks out this ball. So off it goes. Bang! It is back in the ball, but will it stay in this time? 1. No, it did not want to stay in. Okay, so same strategy as always here. I'm going to throw one more Pokeball. I'll throw one more ball at it, and after that, I'll just speed up until I eventually do catch this thing, because this could take a very, very long time. Hopefully it won't, because if this thing starts stacking up rollouts, I'm going to have a bad time. And realistically, I don't want to have to. And realistically, I don't want to have to use healing items or use my Master Ball on a Miltank. Okay, so, in it goes. Because realistically, this is the most I can do. It's paralyzed, it's in the yellow. It's paralyzed, it's in the yellow. I don't really want to put it into the red just on the off chance that it does a thing. Fortunately, the paralysis does mean it could kind of stop the rollouts early. Okay, Espeon needs to get healed or switched out here, so I will use my first Hyper Potion on this. Realistically, I probably shouldn't need to. I probably should just switch to Umbreon, but whatever. And that did not go as planned. Okay, Ultra Ball time. Okay, I say that, but realistically I've already thrown 3 or 4 of them, so I guess that statement was kind of redundant. Anyway, back in the ball it goes. It goes 1, 2, 3. We now have a Miltank. Fantastic. And Espeon is at full health. Delightful. So that is our first opponent defeated. What? That wasn't supposed to happen. I mean, they didn't sound like they came in with all that much confidence, so I don't know. Okay, so they leave, and we now get our second opponent, who is this guy. He's a rider of some description. My turn next. I like how he doesn't even have anything really to say. Okay, Rider Dylan. Dylan? I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyway. Okay, he has an Absol. The Absol is the Shadow Pokemon, by the way. Now, here's the thing. I'm going for the immediate double switch here. Because Sneasel is going to get weakened by Intimidate from Mighty Yana, and Espeon, obviously, is weak to Dark types. And also, I feel like this Mighty Yana is probably carrying Double Kick or Iron Tail or something. It's carrying something that'll be a massive annoyance to me. So I'm going to switch out to... I'll switch out to Umbreon on the whatchamacallit, Espeon's side, and then I'll switch to Meganium on Sneasel. So basically, I'm just going for the double switch immediately, because obviously since I'm going into these battles one after the other, I don't have time to heal. I'm not getting healed between these battles, so I will have to kind of switch in and out a fair bit. Either that or just risk... I may have to potentially risk the entire thing. Shadow Rush hits quite hard. That was honestly less damage than I expected, because Absol does hit really hard. There's the Iron Tail. Honestly, I'm a bit more concerned about that at Mighty Yana's ability to kind of just go invisible more than anything. And I'm just going to throw a ball at this Absol straight away and hope for the best, and then I'm going to pop Synthesis to heal up a little bit. So I'm hoping this Absol just cooperates and stays in the ball. You know, it's one of my favourite Pokemon. Maybe it will cooperate with me. 1. It did not want to cooperate with me. Also, I kind of switched out for defensive... I switched out for defensive purposes, but I don't really have much... oh, that's bad. Oh, that's very bad. That is potentially the worst it could possibly be. Okay, so now I need to play safe. And by play safe, I mean Confuse Ray that Absol, and hopefully it won't punch itself in the face and knock itself out. And while I'm doing that, I'm just going to throw Pokeballs at it, and hopefully it'll stay in one of them. Because I do want to catch this Absol. I haven't missed a single catch in the game yet. And Absol, you know, it's one of my favourite Pokemon. It'll stay in the ball. It'll work with me. Okay, so Confuse Ray comes through. Confuse Ray comes through, confuses the Absol. It might now just punch itself in the face. Oh, that was damage. That was nasty amounts of damage. I mean, I think we've all been there, having a super powerful Pokemon just hit itself in confusion. But I didn't think it would do that much to itself. But hey, it's put itself into the yellow now. It's put itself into the yellow. This is a perfect time for me to be able to catch it. So hopefully Absol's gonna work with me. Hopefully it'll cooperate. Come on. In it goes. 1, 2, 3. We now have an Absol. We won't be using it, but we do have one. And in comes a Sharpedo. Okay, so I'm just gonna go for Razor Leaf with Meganium next turn. Okay, big crit. Do I see a paralysis out of that? No, but honestly, I'll happily take that. So now I can... Honestly, I don't think it really matters what Umbreon does now. Okay, goes for Dive. That's a minor inconvenience. Either way, Razor Leaf will now just hit Mighty Yana and take that out. So, bang, there goes the Mighty Anna. It's just the Sharpedo left, and now, well, now all I have to do is kind of just wait it out. I know that Sharpedo won't one-shot Meganium or Umbreon from this range, because, well, Dive is a, whatchamacallit, it's a special move in this game, and Sharpedo is more of a physical attacker. And that only did 28 damage, that did next to nothing. What was I worried about? Trick question. I wasn't worried. Either way, Razor Leaf does a lot. Razor Leaf just one-shots, 10 out of 10. That is battle number 2 complete. So now Octillery is going to be able to step up for this next battle, and hopefully I can catch this next Pokemon as well. I'd heard about you, but you are much more than I expected. Well, I hadn't heard about you, but hey, you are pretty solid. You're a good trainer, buddy. Okay, so now up we go to opponent number 3. You know they're getting serious because they're sending actual Cipher peons now, not just random people. Okay, so you must be Wes. I've been looking forward to meeting you. Don't you think it's a great honor to battle on this fabulous stage? I'm gonna beat you and earn my promotion to an admin. Okay, so, Cipher Peon Nella. Let's see what you have. Okay, Houndoom and Torkoal. Okay, so here's the thing. Obviously, this trainer has nothing but fire types. And obviously, well, whatchamacallit, Houndoom is the shadow Pokemon. Houndoom would absolutely be going on the team if I could catch this thing earlier on in the game. Like, if this Houndoom turned up at, like, Mount Battle or in the Under, I would 100% be adding it to the team. But it's the fact that it turns up right at the end of the game, like, right at the end of the main story, that I don't want to use it. Fortunately for me, I guess consider this a spoiler. I guess consider this a potential spoiler for the future, if/when I eventually do Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. There is a trainer pretty early on who has a Houndour that you can catch. So, yeah, you may or may not be seeing a Houndoom on my team when I eventually do that. And unfortunately for me, the physical special split will still be a bit of a pain for it, but hey, it will make it work. Okay, so now I should probably switch Espeon out, but I'm just going to throw a ball at Houndoom, because realistically, I think this is the easiest of the 4 Pokemon to catch. I don't know the catch rate off the top of my head, so don't quote me on that. So, who knows, maybe it'll work with me. 1, 2, 3, 10 out of 10. But, see, one of my favourite Pokemon just cooperates with me, and it all just works. Bubble Beam blasts Magcargo, it's quad effective stab, there goes the Magcargo. Also, fun fact, Absol is one of the, like, 6 or 7 Gen 3 Pokemon you can catch in this game. I think it's, like, Makuhita, Plusle, Swablu, Nella, you should not worry about getting fired for losing here. I have battered everyone on my way here. If anything, you put up more of a fight than most of us did. Okay, so, in comes, I guess this must be the most powerful Cipher Peon they have. Realistically, also, I would have thought they would bring back Scrub one more time, but hey, I guess not. I'm the last battler. I'll show you exactly why I was chosen to anchor our squad. Okay, Storn, what do you have? Also, despite his name, this guy does not have rock types, he actually has grass types. And that level 49 Tropius is actually going to be our shadow Pokemon for this battle. So here's the plan, I'm going to just kind of target down the other Pokemon and then focus on the shadow Pokemon last. Because ultimately Tropius is not the most potent. Because realistically, it's a Tropius. It's not the most threatening thing in the world, I think I can probably leave it. So, I'm just going to Psychic and Icy Wind. Actually, I probably should have Brick for Cradily as well. However, Cradily is a wall, so it takes that hit surprisingly well. Okay, not surprisingly well. It takes the hit and survives. And Icy Wind, fortunately because not Espeon, because Sneasel is very weak on its special attack. We are pretty much totally safe, and I managed... I think that's the first time I've seen Icy Wind miss something. And Ancient Power just blasts Sneasel. So that wasn't the best time to beat Sneasel, but hey, we will manage. So, in comes... I will now switch out to Octillery, I think. I'll switch out to Octillery, and then I'll just double in. Okay, so I can Psychic for Cradilly, and then I can Aurora Beam into the Cradilly slot as well. So whatever comes in is going to take that hit. I think this guy has... I want to say it's a Vileplume and a Cacturn. I want to say are his other two Pokemon. I think that's right. Okay, yeah, he has Vileplume and Cacturn. And I remember what the boss has. Like, I remember what Nascour has. Nascour's team is actually really good. And now I'm pretty much in the clear. Completely unnecessary attack drop. If I see that in a future battle, though, that would be fantastic. Okay, so what we're going to do now is continue to just focus in on one side. Because now Psychic, obviously, he takes out the Vileplume. The Cacturn will come in, catch an Aurora Beam, which is ultimately a good thing, because if I can weaken that in advance, that's beneficial to me, because Cacturn is part Dark type. So Cacturn comes in, it's part Dark type, so I wouldn't be able to hit it with Psychic next turn anyway. So Aurora Beam lands, does a nice chunk of damage, and I don't know if Octillery will outspeed Cacturn. Doesn't look like it's going to make a difference, because Magical Leaf is just going to take it out. To be totally honest, Magical Leaf is... Honestly, I kind of wish that... Honestly, if Meganium had learned Magical Leaf, that could have been super helpful. So what I'm going to do now is... I think Return is probably enough to take out the Cacturn, and then I'm going to Thunder Wave for Tropius. So after this, we should be good to go on trying to catch this thing. 10 out of 10, Cacturn gets dropped, and now it is just... Oh, sorry, I just saw the way Cacturn kind of falls down. That was kind of cute. Okay, so Ampharos paralyzes the Tropius, and now all we need to do is catch it. Now, the real question is, will it? How much does it want to cooperate with me? So while I'm waiting on this, I'll set up Reflect just to lower the damage from Fly. And one thing I will say that I greatly appreciate, that was actually removed in Gen 4 onwards, is if a Pokemon is using Dive, Dig, or Fly... Is there any others? No, I think it's just Dive, Dig, or Fly. You can still throw a ball at it. So even though it's in the air, I guess I just had to throw the ball a little bit higher. Even though when I throw the ball, it still looks... It does the animation to be like, no, it's on the ground, because evidently they... Yeah, that time it was just hovering. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is throw another ball at it and then Thunder Shock it, I think. I'll go for Thunder Shock rather than Thunder Bolt just for safety. Because obviously I don't want to knock it out. Like, I don't want to knock it out, and I feel like a Thunder Bolt would definitely knock it out if it crits. But obviously, a crit Thunder Shock should still do less than a regular Thunder Bolt. Oh. Okay, you know what? Going for Thunder Shock proved to be the right play there. Because, well, as you just saw, that did indeed crit. However, Ampharos has now kind of served its purpose, I think. So I'm going to switch Ampharos out for Meganium and set up a Light Screen, just to kind of reduce the potential damage that I can take from Magical Leaf. But, you know, as long as it stays in the ball, that's all that really matters to me right now. Now, because all Fruit playing over here should be okay. 1. Tropius, please just stay in the ball. You aren't that good of a Pokemon. Like, genuinely, Tropius, you aren't that big of a deal. Actually, no, wait. I was going to say Tropius... yeah, I think I said Absol was one of the last Gen 3 Pokemon in this. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, I'd already done that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is set up Light Screen. 10 out of 10. I have completely lost what I was doing in the last, like, 40 seconds. But yeah, Tropius is also a Gen 3 Pokemon. So it's Tropius, Absol, Makuhita, Plusle, Swablu, Meditite. I think that might be all of them. I think that might be the entire Gen 3 roster that you can catch in this game. No, wait, you can also catch a Vibrava. And with that, Ston is defeated. This power, it's beyond unreal. I mean, I just hit weaknesses and then threw a Pokeball a few times. Okay, so, it's now time. It's now time for the actual boss fight to occur. You know he's serious, because, like, bravo, bravo, well done. Why not become a Cipher show battle trainer? Would you even consider it? I'll vouch that you'll become a top star in no time. I wouldn't have minded that proposition, but I'm afraid I'm not that big-hearted. I'll destroy you in battle right now. You will know the humiliation of total domination before this crowd. Yo, Nascour got bars? Also, you know he's serious because he fights you and doesn't have any music. That isn't a bug, that isn't a glitch, he just doesn't have music. Okay, he leads with Walrein and Blaziken. Okay, yeah, pretty much. Nascour's team is honestly really good. I played through Pokemon Ruby once using his team. It's actually a really solid team. However, okay, so, full disclosure, I actually recorded that entire playthrough, and then it was on my old PC, so I don't have it anymore. Either way, Psychic just blasts Blaziken, one-shots it. So Blaziken, non-factor, immediately wiped off the board, and in comes Dusclops. Dusclops, Ghost type, so I'm glad I went for Brick Break onto the Walrein. It won't one-shot, that won't even two-shot, that's a free hit. That's a free hit KO. Okay, Walrein goes for Attract, so that's a minor inconvenience. Hopefully it went for Sneasel. It went for Espeon. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is, for my own convenience and safety, I'm actually gonna switch Espeon out, and I'll Shadow Ball the Dusclops. So I'll switch Espeon out in favor of Ampharos, so I can Thunderbolt the Walrein, and then I Shadow Ball into the Dusclops, because Dusclops probably goes down in 2 or 3. Okay, yeah, I don't know if that's a high roll or a low roll. I will say, I do like the little animation Dusclops has there for when it gets hit. Okay, Ice Beam lands for, honestly, quite a bit. Dusclops goes for Confuse Ray, probably on Sneasel. No, it went in Ampharos, okay. Not gonna lie, I kind of love and hate the fact that he doesn't have battle music here. Like, I think it is a kind of interesting and cool thing that's like, hey, this kind of, like, final boss guy, he just doesn't have music. He doesn't need it. Okay, so, Shadow Ball lands. Do I see more damage? Yes, I do. That must have been a higher roll than last time. Dusclops gets taken out. Also, I kind of love that getting knocked out animation for it. And in comes, I think it's Gardevoir next? Yeah. Okay, so, here comes Gardevoir. He has one more Pokemon to come in after I take out one more. That's not good for me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is Thunderbolt and Shadow Ball once again. Hopefully Ampharos hits through. 10 out of 10 it does. Walrein is taken off the board. In comes his next Pokemon, which is Xatu. So, ultimately, Nascour's entire team here is Blaziken, Walrein, Dusclops, Xatu, Gardevoir, and his Shadow Pokemon. His Shadow Pokemon that I'm strongly considering just throwing the Master Ball at, because honestly, this and the next one could take a very long time to catch. Okay, Gardevoir hits and takes out Ampharos, but that's totally okay, because now he has 2 Psychic types on the field, and I have another Dark type in reserve in the form of Umbreon, so Umbreon should be able to just come in and kind of clean up. So I can go for Bite on the Gardevoir to finish that off, and then Shadow Ball into the Xatu, and that should probably not one-shot, but I'll definitely win this fight next turn. Actually, no, wait. His final Pokemon will come in this turn. His final Pokemon will come in this turn, and then I might be able to finish him off next turn, but just for my own convenience. Well, that's an annoyance, isn't it? But basically, I'm gonna try a couple of Pokeballs before I just give up and Master Ball it, because his final Pokemon could be a huge danger to me. So, yeah. Gardevoir does go down, and now, Octillery hits, what is that, level 50? Oh, it's just level 50, okay. So I will switch into Espeon here, and he will go out to his Shadow Pokemon, which is a pseudo-legendary, because Nascour has a Metagross, which is, you know, just a little bit scary. And by a little bit, I mean, oh no, that's a Metagross. Because, Well, I feel like at some point or another, everyone has had at least one horror story about a Metagross. Okay, so Sneasel breaks through, lands the Shadow Ball, takes out the Xatu, and now I'm gonna try to whittle down and catch this Metagross normally, but if I see it, basically I'm gonna try to catch this Metagross the normal way, but if the time comes for it and I feel like it's absolutely necessary, like if the time comes and I think it's necessary, I will go for the Master Ball. I do have it there, I have it in reserve just on the off chance I need it. Hopefully it won't come to that. I mean, in a perfect world, this just stays in the ball turn 1. But we don't live in a perfect world, do we? 1. Yeah, honestly, if that had stayed in, that would have been incredible. Okay, so, Shadow Ball lands. It won't do all that much, because Metagross is an absolute tank. I mean, it looks like one, it acts like one. How much is that going to hit for? I mean, it's targeting Sneasel, it doesn't make a difference. Okay, yeah, that was overkill. That was more than likely overkill. Also, I think that was the longest Shadow Rush animation in the game. Okay, so I'm going to switch into Octillery, because Octillery should resist most of what it can do. I say that, forgetting that this thing absolutely carries Psychic. Realistically, I probably should have gone for Octazooka there. I should have gone for Octazooka to try to reduce its, whatchamacallit, accuracy. But I imagine that this thing probably has Clear Body, so I wouldn't be able to reduce it anyway. So this thing has Shadow Rush, Metal Claw, Iron Defense. What's its last move? I imagine its last move must be Psychic. I can't see a world where it doesn't have Psychic Stab as well. So I'm just going to throw another ball and hope for the best. I'll throw 3 more, and if it doesn't stay in, I might just Master Ball it. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, Nascour is... Honestly, I think his team is really good. I do like his team a lot. I did play through, as I previously mentioned, I have played through Pokemon Ruby with his team before, and it was really good. Like, his team can honestly handle most threats in Hoenn. That did so little damage. I feel like I can probably catch this legit. Like, without having to default to the Master Ball. Because, realistically, I can just sit and take hits all day. And if I can just alternate having Reflect and Light Screen up, I think I'm pretty okay here. However, I'll throw 3 more and then I'll speed up until I catch it, because I feel like this could take a little while. Okay, yeah. And I'm also going to go for Body Slam. That's why I'm switching out. I'm switching out to Meganium to go for Body Slam and go for a Paralysis if I can. I'm hoping that that'll work, but honestly, I know my luck. I realistically should probably just revive Ampharos and go for Thunder Wave. Okay, so I will throw a ball. I'll throw a ball, and then I will set up a light screen and hope for the best. Okay, so, does it stay in the ball? 1. No, it does not. Okay. I think what I'm gonna do is I'll throw 1 more and then I'll speed up until I eventually catch this thing. Because if I can avoid using the Master Ball, I would like to avoid using the Master Ball. But at the same time, I should... that did less than half. Okay. Okay, I think I'm in the clear. So let's set up a Reflect, and then throw another, and then... Actually, no, I'll throw a Timer Ball, because it's been a little while. It's been on the field a few turns. I don't think it's been on the field long enough for the Timer Ball to be at full effectiveness, but hey, I'm gonna risk it and give it a shot anyway. So, in it goes. 1. Yeah, I just broke out immediately. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna speed up until I eventually catch this thing, I think. So I will be right back. Okay, so if it doesn't stay in this time, I think I will just Master Ball it, because it is getting very low. It is getting very low, so I feel like I do need to probably Master Ball it soon, otherwise it... Yeah, I'm just gonna Master Ball it. I'll Master Ball it for my own safety and convenience. Because I do know that, yeah, like, this could take a little while. Actually, I'll throw one more. I'll throw one more and go until it goes for another Shadow Rush, because I do still have enough HP left to not need to worry. I think it has enough HP left that I currently don't need to worry about it as much. Okay, so, will it stay in this time? 1. No, it does not. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna Master Ball it. Wait, is it going to go for Shadow Rush is the question here. Okay, you know what? I'll just be a minute. So, yeah, I'm just gonna... Actually, no, I feel like I know I can do this. I'm not gonna Master Ball it. I'm not gonna Master Ball it unless I absolutely have to. Okay, so, Nascour, his team is pretty solid. And I don't really know I don't know what I'm kind of rambling on about for now, so 1. Okay, yeah, you know what, I'm just gonna Master Ball it. Okay, yeah, I definitely have to Master Ball this thing because I'm pretty sure it can knock out Octillery in one more hit. And I'm not risking that, so after all of that, I'm gonna have to just use the Master Ball. Now, I could have just used... Obviously, I could have just cheated here and used the Master... Like, I could have just cheated and used the duplication glitch to get another Master Ball available. But obviously, that would have been cheating, so, I'm not doing that because... that's coward attack. No, there's no... This can't be happening. Okay, so we got 5,600 Poké Dollars, and we can move on. Yeah, it's not over, Wes. Come on, we shall battle. Enough. Don't embarrass yourself, Nascour. Sir, I beg your pardon? What's going on? Nascour's apologizing. Isn't he supposed to be the boss? No, because we met the boss way back at the start of the game. Because of course we did, it was very obvious from the start. My, that was certainly a battle worth seeing. I must be honest with you, I never imagined that you would get this far. Huh? Mr. Mayor? Why are you here? Oh dear me, do you fail to understand still? You're such an innocent child. At times I'm the affable Mayor of Phoenix, and at others I'm the secret boss of the criminal syndicate Cipher. I'm Evis, and I shall rule the world. How dare you meddle in our affairs so thoroughly? The Shadow Pokemon plan we can resurrect from the start, but you two, you'll never be forgiven. I'll destroy you utterly so you may never rise against me again. Okay, so final battle of the game. I think this guy's supposed to be a big twist villain, but realistically, who cares? Like, he's kind of nothing. Okay, Slowking and Sizzle. That is an awful, and I mean awful, lead for me to have to deal with. Okay, so Espeon and Sneasel is my lead, obviously, because I've been leading with them for a little while. So, this thing will probably go for Silver Wind, I think. So I will play it safe and go out to Ampharos. I'll play it safe and go out to Ampharos, and then I will Icy Wind just to kind of slow down the Sizzle. Because honestly, I genuinely believe this Sizzle is probably the most threatening Pokemon that this man has. So, Icy Wind lands. Obviously, it's slowing down a Slowking. Does not matter in the slightest. But the damage is negligible. This was solely for the speed drops. Silver Wind does come in as predicted. Was it on Espeon? It was going for Sneasel. Okay, Sneasel is honestly, losing Sneasel is totally okay with me in this scenario. Because now I get a safe switch into Meganium, I guess. I really should have probably gone to Octillery there. But hey, I think we should be okay. Shadow Ball comes through and does not that much damage to Okay, honestly, I said not much damage I said not much damage in advance. I didn't think it would do that little not much damage. And that's an X attack. That's a little scary. I feel like that's a bit of a waste to use a one on the Sizzle, but okay. No, wait, he used two X attacks. It was a waste to use one on the Slowking. If he'd used X specials, it would have been a waste on the Sizzle. Okay, so I'm going to Body Slam and Thunderbolt, and hopefully that should be enough to take out the Sizzle. I guess I just need to hope for a high roll. Come on, high roll. Bang. There goes Sizzle. Fantastic. So honestly, that Sizzle, I'm pretty confident in saying that was the most threatening Pokemon for me. Okay, Ampharos hits level 50, very nice. And in comes Slacking. So, Slacking, as you are probably very well aware if you're familiar with Pokemon, Slacking is very strong. As in, like, ludicrously strong to the point at which it needed to be baseline nerfed to make it remotely fair. So, yeah, Slacking could be a problem because it has Truant. However, you know, it clicking Earthquake does mean that it's going to do just as much damage to itself, well, not itself, to its teammate, as it's going to do to me, as you can see by just obliterating half of Slowking's health bar. And now I get a free switch into Espeon, who will be able to just blast it with Psychic. Because to be totally honest, Espeon's probably just going to blast everything with Psychic here. Okay, we land a Body Slam. In a perfect world, I see a Paralysis out of that. I do not see a Paralysis out of that. Oh wow, I do. Fantastic. And this is where Evis makes himself a problem. Because he skill swaps Truant onto his Slowking and off of a Slacking. Which, you know, is effectively just... Which is, in terms of practicality, going for skill swap on a Slacking is basically him taking off the weights and being allowed to go full force. Fortunately for me, Espeon just outspeeds it and will be able to take it out next turn, so I don't need to worry. And that special defense drop could come in handy, who knows. Razor Leaf will do decent damage, but to be totally honest, I don't want... Okay, never mind. Because I want to keep that Slowking on the field now. Because the Slowking has Truant. And as a result of the Slowking having Truant, it can't realistically do anything. So I can now just Psychic, take out the Slacking. And now he is down to 3 more Pokemon, I think? He still has the Slowking. I've taken out Sizzle, I've taken out Slacking. He has Machamp, and he has Salamence left to come in. Okay, Mence hits the field. And then, of course, after he has the Machamp and the Salamence, that's when he has his Shadow Pokemon. And the Shadow Pokemon, just like the Metagross, as that we just dealt with, is another pseudo-legendary. So, yeah, I feel like you can probably guess what it is, given, you know, just how much Johto representation we've had in this game so far. You can probably take a good, educated guess at what it is. Yes, it's a Tyranitar. Of course, it's a T-Tar. And we just blast that Salamence with Psychic. It goes down in 1. And because of a huge crit, big moves from Espeon here. Okay, in comes Machamp. Machamp will absolutely get dropped in a single or shot from Psychic here. I have no doubt in my mind that that does not take a Psychic, unless he sets up a light screen of his own, but I don't see that happening, because Slowking is loafing around because of the Truant. So I can now heal with Meganium with Synthesis, blast the Machamp with Psychic. The Machamp lived! Okay. Okay, I didn't see that one coming, but okay. Cross Chop will land on Meganium for decent damage. Hopefully it doesn't crit. Well, it didn't crit, but it still did a lot, and Psychic will now probably finish that off. However, I now have a perfect counter for this. Because, if you may recall... Oh, Ampharos is down. Never mind, disregard what I was about to say. Okay, so what I'm going to do is switch into Umbreon here. I can switch into Umbreon, I'll just Psychic the Machamp, and then I'll Secret Power into the same slot. And hopefully Secret Power will get the Paralysis. Because now the Tyranitar will come in. The Slowking won't do anything this turn because of the Truant. It's the Truant turn for it, so it'll be loafing around. And then, basically T-Tar now comes in. it'll kick up a sandstorm because of Sandstream. That's just how it naturally works. And in this gen, I think weather is permanent. I think it's permanent, at least. Also, fun fact, despite... I think Sandstream is exclusively on Tyranitar in this game, which is weird because that makes it the only kind of weather... That is perfect. Because that makes it the only weather-inflicting ability that isn't tied to a legendary Pokemon. Because at that point, hidden abilities didn't exist, so you couldn't get Drought on Ninetales, and you couldn't get Drizzle on things like Pelipper and Politoed. So Drought was only on Groudon, and Drizzle was only on Kyogre. And then Snow Warning. Snow Warning didn't exist until Gen 4, when Snover and Abomasnow got it. At which point, Sandstream was also given to Hippopotas and Hippowdon. Okay, so, unlike with the Metagross, we got the paralysis on this T-Tar, and now we just have to stick it out until we catch it. Because now I can just kind of whittle down the Slowking. Basically, I'm just going to have Umbreon just bite that Slowking until it eventually gets knocked out. Shadow Rush will come through and do a lot of damage. Okay, I'm going to set up Reflect. I will definitely set up a Reflect this turn. Okay, Sandstorm rages. The Slowking will take damage from that every turn as well, so that's pretty good for me. Because that is, you know, just, it's not much, but it is a little bit of residual damage every turn. So what I'm going to do is set up Reflect for my own safety, go for another bite, and now I'm just going to start throwing Pokeballs at this Tyranitar and hopefully we'll catch it. So yeah, this is the final battle of the main story. We do have a little bit of post-game. This game does have a, not massively long, but it does have a little bit of a post-game. That light screen does not make much of a difference here to me, to be totally honest. I think this Slowking goes down this turn, because it takes damage from the Sandstorm here. It'll take another bite and then take more residual damage from the Sandstorm. It either goes down this turn or next. So now, I kind of just need to catch this Tyranitar, and then we are in the clear. But yeah, honestly, for a team, Evers's team is so weird to me, because it is such a strong team, and he's suddenly, like, jumped up to level 60, and he's just weirdly easy. I don't know, I feel like this boss fight is weirdly easy, and I don't know why. Admittedly, I was worried about the Scizor. The Scizor kinda had me running a little bit scared, but that's because I don't have any fire moves on any of my Pokemon. And now may be a great time to remind you that I did indeed buy that TM for Fire Blast and never taught it to Octillery. But to be totally honest, Octillery would have gotten outspent probably just one shot by Scizor, because that Scizor is potentially very powerful. Now we're going to play a fun little mini-game called How Long Does It Take for This Tyranitar to Stay in the Ball? Because this Tyranitar is going to be a pain. Because unlike with the Metagross, I no longer have the Master Ball. And, well, on the plus side, it's not taking residual damage every turn, so that's a win at least. So what I'm going to do is I will use Umbreon to whittle it down. I'll use Umbreon to just whittle it down little by little, and Octillery's turn I'll throw Pokeballs at it. Admittedly, I should probably have gone for at least one Aurora Beam. Maybe I'd get lucky and get an attack drop, but who knows. T-Tar goes in the ball. 1, 2, 3. We now have Tyranitar, and that is Cipher Head Evis defeated. No! Even my ultimate Pokemon! I mean, buddy, Nascour had a better ultimate Pokemon. Metagross clears. Halt! Stop where you are. There's no getting away this time. So now it's, you know, just all the supporting cast pop up. Cipher's finished. The Shadow Pokemon plan ends now. You alright? Hey Pikachu, how you doing, buddy? Oh, that Pikachu looked so angry. Blast you! Don't you forget what you've done, Wes. It won't end this way next time. I will ruin you the next time, I promise you that. And he has a stupid little helicopter. No! He's trying to escape from that helicopter! Let us meet again! Our bid to take over the world using Shadow Pokemon hasn't ended yet. And that is our little clue that perhaps, maybe there's another thing. Your plan. I think it just ended. What? Evis, you and your cronies are under arrest. Oh, what is that? That is the legendary Ho-Oh. It's a legendary Pokemon. It's a Ho-Oh. It is. It really is a Ho-Oh. It's incredible. It must have been keeping an eye on your heroics from the sky above. You obviously earned its support. Of course, it would never allow criminals to get off scot-free, not when they're guilty of creating an outrage like creating shadow Pokemon. Oh wow, so Ho-Oh was watching over us. Wes, I guess it's finally over. We faced a lot of challenges, but thanks to you, everything's been resolved. Thank you. You are strong, you answered the call, and you were cool. Look at that. Ho-Oh is so close. So true. This is the first time I've seen one up so close. The Ho-Oh is a blessing... the Ho-Oh is blessing you for your victory. Such a perfect outcome. Yes, indeed. So, here's the thing. Ho-Oh is obtainable in this game. And, of course... well, we've now finished Pokemon Colosseum. Well, we finished the main story. We do have some post-game to do. Okay, yes it does. Fantastic. Well, it offers us to save. Okay, so, what I'm going to do is save the game and end off today's episode here. Oh. Actually, no, I'll end off today's episode here, and then next time, I'll start up with that. Okay, so, today we managed to defeat Evis and, well, Cipher in general. And Pokemon Colosseum's main story is now at a close. Next time, I'll be starting up this game's post-game and seeing how that goes. So, as always, feel free to leave a comment or click any of the buttons down below if you feel so inclined. Thanks for watching. Later.